Oh yeah, we gotta talk about him. The hottest thing smoking in the NCAA tournament right now. The basketball story of the year right now. Kansas State, Swag U out there killing it. It's their world right now, man. We just living in it. Come on. Let's get into this.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
So we're talking about a team that lost 12 players. They brought in 12 transfers and only brought in 2 players from last year. They're led by Keyontae Johnson. Rewinding back a little bit, you may remember Keyontae when he started his career at the University of Florida. Back in 2020, Johnson was a junior at Florida, and he collapsed during a game against Florida State on the court. He ended up being diagnosed with athlete's heart from a hospital, the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. They ended up clearing him to play. Florida didn't, so he ended up transferring to Kansas State. Before this season, it had been 20 months since he played basketball competitively. We gotta mention, when he did go down, like that season, he was preseason SEC Player of the Year, and he was getting first round NBA draft buzz. Like, he was legit. And coming into this season, this is dedication to the game right here if I had ever seen it. He turned down a $5 million insurance policy from the NCAA to play this season. Literally betting on himself, and it paid off. He was named Big 12 Newcomer of the Year and also selected to the All Big 12 First Team. He's leading a team that was picked to finish last in their conference. They ended up finishing third in the Big 12 and were ranked number 15 in the AP Top 25 final rankings. Then there's the run through the NCAA tournament, beating Montana State, beating Kentucky, and then most recently, beating Michigan State and sending the Sparties home in overtime. Talk about a true redemption story. And as the squad, I mean, man, it seems like they've made Madison Square Garden feel like their home court. Speaking of the Garden, it's something about those New York point guards. Ooh, wee. Marquise Noel, Mr. New York City. They really had mans playing in the Garden. At the crib. What did they think was going to happen? I'm telling you right now, it's heart over height, baby. I'm talking a true dimer right here. Dropping them. 19 of them to be exact. Jeez. On top of that, then he gave him a 20-piece crispy. And he put them boys away like this. In OT. Then we gotta talk about the head coach, Jerome Tang. Guy is a vibe. I think this team is just good for college basketball this season. Great feel-good story, redemption story. Johnson and Noel definitely deserve some draft looks. Like, these guys look like they are league ready. And if not, hey, Noel absolutely has 6 figures waiting on him over there overseas. But both these guys, man, just pure dogs, man, and they're leading this squad. And Coach Tang, let these guys eat, man. They are the feel-good story of the year. I'm loving watching them play, man. K-State to the moon, you dig? And for all the latest and the greatest, make sure to subscribe. This has been Live with Brandon Blakeney, you dig?
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.